Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This evening's speech is an edited version of Indira Nuyi's commencement address to the Columbia University Business School on 5th of May 2005. Indira Nuyi is the current chairperson and chief executive officer of PepsiCo, the second largest food and beverage business in the world. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Dean Hubbard, distinguished faculty, honored graduates, relieved parents, family and friends. It's a distinct pleasure to be in New York City this evening to celebrate the biggest milestone to date in your lives, your graduation from Columbia University Business School. It may surprise you, graduates, but as big a night as it is for you, it is an even bigger night for your parents. They may look calm and collected as they sit in their seats, but deep inside they are doing cartwheels and dancing the Macarena. They are so excited. This is what happens when parents anticipate that their bank accounts will soon rehydrate after being bone dry for 2 years. So for everyone here this evening, it's a very special occasion, and I'm delighted to share it with you. I'm keenly aware that graduates traditionally refer to our time together this evening as the calm before the storm. Some graduates refer to the commencement address as the snooze before the booze. However you describe my comments this evening, please know that I understand. It wasn't that long ago that I was here in your place, and I remember that day well. As the guy at the podium droned on and on about values, goals, and how my dreams can take flight, I remember desperately checking and rechecking my watch. I thought I deserve to party, and this old codger is cramping my style. In one of life's true ironies, I am now that codger here today. This evening, graduates, I want to share a few thoughts about a topic that should be near and dear to your hearts, the world of global business. But I'm going to present the topic in a way that you probably haven't considered before. I'm going to take a look at how the United States is often perceived in global business, what causes the perception, and what we can do about it. To help me, I'm going to make use of a model. To begin, I'd like you to consider your hand. That's right, your hand. What I want you to notice in particular is that the 5 fingers are not the same. One is short and thick, one tiny, and the other 3 are different as well. And yet, as in perhaps no other part of the body, the fingers work in harmony without us even thinking about them individually. Whether we attempt to grasp a coin, a child's arm as we cross the street, or a financial report, we don't consciously say, okay, move those fingers here, raise this one, turn this one around, now clamp together. We just think about what we want to do, and it happens. Our fingers, as different as they are, coexist to create a critically important whole. First, let us consider this little finger. Think of this finger as Africa. Africa is a little finger not because of its size, but because of its place on the world stage. From an economic standpoint, Africa has yet to catch up with the other continents, and yet, when our little finger hurts, it affects the whole hand. Our thumb is Asia, strong, powerful, and ready to assert itself as a major player on the world's economic stage. Our index, or pointing finger, is Europe. Europe is the cradle of democracy and pointed the way for Western civilization and the way we use in conducting global business. The ring finger is South America, including Latin America. The ring finger symbolizes love and commitment to another person. Both Latin and South America are hot, passionate, and filled with the sensuous beats of the mambo, samba, and the tango. Three dances that, if done right, can almost guarantee you and your partner will be buying furniture together. This analogy of the five fingers as the five major continents leaves the long middle finger for North America, and in particular the United States. As the longest of the fingers, it really stands out. The middle finger anchors every function that the hand performs and is the key to all the fingers working together efficiently and effectively. This is a really good thing and has given the US a leg up in global business since the end of World War I. However, if used inappropriately, just like the US itself, the middle finger can convey a negative message and get us in trouble. You know what I'm talking about. In fact, I suspect you're hoping that I'll demonstrate what I mean. Discretion being the better part of valor, I think I'll pass. What is most crucial to my analogy of the five fingers as the five major continents, that each of us in the US, the long middle finger, must be careful that when we extend our arm in either a business or political sense, we take pains to assure us that we are giving a hand, not the finger. Sometimes this is very difficult because the US, the middle finger, sticks out so much, we can send the wrong message unintentionally. This land we call home is a most loving and ever-giving nation, a promised land that we love dearly, and it represents a true force that, if used for good, can steady the hand along with global economies and cultures. Yet to see us frequently stub our fingers on the international business and political stage is deeply troubling. Truth be told, the behavior of a few sully the perception for all of us, and we know how when perception is mistaken for reality. Today, as each one of you ends one chapter in your young lives and begins another, I want you to consider how you will conduct your business careers so that the other continents see you extending a hand, not the finger. Graduates, it's not that hard. You can change and shape the attitudes and opinions of the other fingers, the other continents and their peoples, by simply ascribing positive intent to all your international business transactions. We can do better. We should do better. With your help, with your empathy, and with your positive intent as representatives of the US in global business, we will do better. Now, as never before, it's important that we give the world a hand, not the finger. In conclusion, graduates, I want to return to my introductory comments this evening. I observe that as big a night as this is for you, it's an even bigger night for your parents. I ascribe that happiness to looking forward to a few more George Washingtons in their bank accounts. While this is certainly true, there is another reason. Each of your parents believe that their hard work has paid off, finally. They believe that maybe, just maybe, they have raised and nurtured the next Jack Welch, Meg Whitman, or Patricia Russo. Don't disappoint them. Don't disappoint your companies and don't disappoint yourselves. Graduates, as you aggressively compete on the international business stage, understand that the five major continents and their peoples each have their own strength and contribution to make. Just as each of your fingers must coexist to create a critically important tool, each of the five major continents must also coexist to create a world in balance. You, as an American businessman, will either contribute to or take away from this balance. So remember, when you extend your arm to colleagues and peoples from other countries, make sure that you're giving a hand, not a finger. Thank you.